मगर इस देश रहना चाहिए, इस देश का लोकतंत्र रहना चाहिए.
You can do one Mumbai, you may lose Balochistan.
2, 1, 0. S139 motor.
This man is a horrible man. He must be shunned.
For them to count. Our job is to hit the target, not to count the body bags.
Namaste, sir. Welcome to the show. Welcome, audience. Today we are going to do a show on Iran. A lot of things have happened in the last couple of days, and it's a good time to cover. Welcome, sir. Please tell us what's happening right now.
Hi, Parth, and it was a very eventful week, and we were thinking that we should do this early because every day some new things are happening. And if you see the West Asia, that is how we call it, and US they call it as Middle East because they see the entire continent as East. So in West Asia, many things are happening, and we can go through the sequence because in our last podcast we had said that Iran would be attacked any day, and IDF, the Israeli Defense Forces, will give a go ahead, and finally that go ahead was taken, or between the Israeli President Netanyahu and Trump, they agreed that we have to do it. We cannot delay, otherwise Iran may develop this nuclear or launch its nuclear attack on us. So anyway, so I think we can go a bit graphical. What do you say, Parth? We can show the audience some maps to
Yes, sir,
understand.
absolutely. Yeah, why not? Let's go for the first one.
Okay, now this is where we were standing before the attack last week. That USS Lincoln, Abraham Lincoln, and the associate destroyer. So, the aircraft carrier with all the frigates and submarines and destroyers are there, which was just ahead of Yemen and Oman, right? And the destroyers and combat ships were in the Gulf of Oman, and you see that combat ship destroyer is also there across the Strait of Hormuz, inside the sea. Further, you find there's another aircraft carrier on the left, I think Gerald, no? USS Gerald, which was on the Mediterranean Sea near Israel. And the attack planes, everything that is Israel, from where the bases are there, where the attack was planned on Iran. Once the attack took, I think on, what was the date?
Saturday.
Yeah,
So
Saturday.
weekend.
So next slide will show you where all US had attacked. These are all sources have been given, New York Times, and even in First Post these maps have flashed. So this is the source we are mentioning about these maps, and they're very well articulated. Parth, can we go to the next slide where the attack was finally done? So if you see, they've attacked all the major towns: Tehran, Qom, Isfahan, Kanarak, Karman, Shah, and Tabriz. So these were the initial attacks in the first wave, and they attack all the military installations and the IRGC, the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps, headquarters, as well as they attacked the presidential suite where Khamenei was killed. Late we came to know a day later that he was killed, and then his procession was started, and across the world, all Shias, they were in mourning, even including in India and Kashmir and other parts, Pakistan also. So this is what happened. Thereafter, what happened is the leaders which were killed. So you see, Ali Khamenei, the supreme leader, was killed, and Masoud Pezeshkian, who is the president, he was a president. Pezeshkian was a president. He was also killed. Saeed Abdullah Mosavi, Chief of Staff, Armed Forces. Ali Shamkhani, Secretary Defense Council, and Ali Lari Jani, who is a Secretary National Security Council. So all the top lot, and what has come through some sources that some insiders, Mossad's insiders, were there in his, supervising his movement, and in his presidential suite, all these top heads of the government were having a meeting, and that is where the US launched its missiles, and I think 30, bombs were fired at his presidential suite, and it was totally, ravaged. So this is how they were 100% sure they should go ahead. Their source had told, yes, he's there inside, go for the attack, and they did not leave anything, any leave unturned. They fired 30 missiles, which is too high. I'm sure for the morning they couldn't retrieve his full body also, because with 30 bombs in a place, in a mahal, if 30 bombs are coming in, you can understand what the people inside must have gone. So it was a very drastic death. So I'm sure this is what nobody would like it. Next week on, after this, the next echelon of IRGC, because IRGC controls the Iranian army, and let me tell you, Iranian army is around 6 lakhs, which is half of Indian army, 12 to 13 lakhs. It is not a small army. And if you see Iran, it is counted. Do you have that graphic where Iran is counted by the 3 mountain ranges? Anyway, so what happened is, then the next echelon decided to attack all out on US bases, as well as all countries who have supported US. So if you see, that is Iran, and where were the bases? Kuwait, again a very big US base, in Syria, in Iraq, Jordan, Lebanon, Turkey, the naval base in Mediterranean, Egypt, Saudi Arabia. You see so many bases, UAE, Oman, Yemen. All these US bases were targeted by Iran. And what I can understand, what I've gone through some reports that they've got around 30 odd commands, which is too high. I don't understand. Maybe it's a corps level or division level. All the commanders were made independent. Now you're on your own. Go for total destruction of the enemy. So they did whatever they felt was right. And the biggest power of Iran is their missiles. They estimated 3,000, 4,000 missiles. Though they have kept firing missiles everywhere. To Israel, there have been casualties. Syria, Iraq, Jordan, Qatar. In Qatar, we found one F-15. There are visuals where F-15 is, hit. And what we can understand, there is more to it, because there were no planes, fighter planes, which were lost in Iran during the attack. But now, after the attack, in the retaliation fire by Iran, you find US fighter jets going down. There are reports in Qatar that 3 fighter jets are down. Now, this can be an insider job, or it cannot be a malfunction. So, point is there, after retaliation, how come? So, there may be an insider, that is CIA doesn't want Trump to have a all-out victory. So, there may be cases where CIA doesn't want a total regime change since Khamenei is already gone, and they want to stop. So, there are so many things. How should F-16, which is not no fighter aircraft were lost in Iran, but now they have been lost in Qatar or other places. So this is quite strange. This is my assessment. Maybe it may be wrong, but this seems unlikely that after third day of war you are losing fighter jets, and you do not lose fighter. There was no air defense of Iran which was stopping these fighter jets from attacking. But after that, when the missiles were being fired at all the places across Iran, on the adjoining cities, countries of Iran, say Iraq, Jordan, all the US bases, you find aircrafts coming down, fighter jets coming down. They're hit by missiles. This is a bit strange. Anyway, so these 8 bases and other military sites were attacked. And right now, where we are is that US has also suffered losses. There are reports that fighter missiles were fired on the USS aircraft carrier, Abraham Lincoln, and there were some injuries. Some say there is some destruction, and somebody says it is not there. They were protected to all, because in the fog of war, all these info warfare happens. Psychological warfare. They'll say हमने इनके इतने गिरा दिए, they'll say उनके इतने गिरा दिए. I was just thinking कि Trump kept in Opsendur kept on counting ना कि इनके 6 गिरे, 7 गिरे, 8-0. What should Trump do now when others are saying कि US के कितने गिरे? And if you see, just compare this with the situation where UAE में, Dubai में, there are one of the premier buildings. वहाँ the drones are being, because Iran's drones are too good, right? Iran का drone and missile technology is one of the best in the world, right? First 3-4 में तो हो गई. So these drones and missiles, drones attack on Dubai. Now Dubai का कोई लेना देना नहीं है. But now what I feel is Shia-Sunni war has also started, because Iran is the only Shia country. Iraq में जो था वो भी इन्होंने थोड़ा सा differentiate कर दिया, right? Some portion of Iraq also has Shias, but other than that there are no Shias. This is the Shia का सबसे बड़ा leader था Khamenei, and Shia का सबसे बड़ा country था Iran, which was, उसका natural है कि तीनों तरफ नीचे sea है and तीनों तरफ पहाड़ है. So you cannot actually invade Iran. There is no way you can invade Iran. That is why over the years Persia has never been invaded. This is a fact. Now to go through Iran and destroy it, it was a stronghold. उस पे इतने attack हो गए, missile attack, air attacks. So what it did is, इसने जितने Iran, the second echelon of leaders had decided whichever country have been supporting Iran, US, उन सब पे अटैक करो. कतर जिसका कोई लेना देना नहीं था, यूएई, दुबई में, अबू धाबी में अटैक्स हुए, दुबई एयरपोर्ट पे अटैक हुआ. So if you see all the Saudi Arabia में बहुत सारे अटैक हो गए. Now Saudi Arabia, UAE are actually, they are very close to US. There are news that Saudi Arabia had told कि last operation में आपने ईरान के सारे पूरा खत्म नहीं किया, this operation they should not be left. So there are rumors and all this, but logically लगता है, and they have always been close to US. सबसे ज्यादा सैंक्शन ईरान था, तो ईरान इज लाइक अभी मरता क्या ना करता, आई विल डिस्ट्रॉय एवरीबॉडी. सो दिस इज द सिचुएशन. विल इट कम आउट एज अ थर्ड वर्ल्ड वॉर, वेयर अभी नेटो कंट्रीज नाउ, अर्लियर डियो गार्सिया वाज यूके कंट्रोल से मना कर दिया था, आई डोंट वांट टू इन्वॉल्व माई सेल्फ, ये यूएस और इसराइल का लड़ाई है. फ्रांस नाउ आफ्टर दीज अटैक्स, इनके फ्रेंच एंड यूके के भी एयर बेसिस अटैक हुए. Now they are saying we have to, there is no option now, we have to join the war against Iran. So they are, तो अब पूरा NATO आ रहा है. So will it turn out to be a World War 3 or that situation? लड़ाई तो चल रही है, रशिया यूक्रेन की ऑलरेडी चल रही है, and now Iran being the target, and Iran का जो retaliation हुआ है ये बहुत तगड़ा हुआ है. See, Iran के was disturbing everybody. It was the सबसे ज्यादा mischievous country in West Asia. अब उसके हूती, हिजबुल्लाह, हमास, ये तीनों पहले से सबको तंग करते थे. ठीक है, अब नाउ हूतीज, अभी हिजबुल्लाह हैज आल्सो स्टार्टेड फायरिंग ऑन इजराइल. ठीक है, हूतीज भी अब देखना एक्टिवेट हो जाएंगे. इन्होंने स्ट्रेट ऑफ हॉर्मुज बंद कर दिया है. दे सेड वी विल नॉट अलाउ एनी 20% ऑफ द ऑयल ट्रेड इज हैपनिंग थ्रू स्ट्रेट ऑफ हॉर्मुज. तो दे हैव डन व्हाटएवर दे कुड. नेवल ब्लॉकेड कर दिया है. नो ऑयल का रेट बढ़ रहा है, गोल्ड सिल्वर तो बढ़ ही रहा है बिकॉज ऑफ द वॉर. सो व्हाटएवर aggressive stance or worst they could do, Iran, they have already done. Now it is a matter for the NATO countries how they want to, because they already killed Khamenei, getting a revolution now, because there are 50% of, I think this is my assessment, 50% support the Iranian regime, and the 30-40, some are neutral, and 30-40% are who want a change. So change wala are not dominant. So the aim was to change the regime. I think with these losses US had, they are more aggressive. They said, "No, change nahi, we want to somehow take control of Iran." NATO has joined in. Iran is totally aggressive. It is already firing all this because there is no control of Iran. So second echelon of leaders hai under Khamenei jo the, second tier are now running the show. कौन leader होगा? मैंने already named an alternate, caretaker president जैसा, leader जैसा. Who will be the leader? Whether it will be Khamenei's son or कोई cleric होगा. तो all this, there's so much of turmoil, and this turmoil is creating problems for the entire world. So this is my take on Iran as of now.
And so there have been strikes, and people are talking about all the different possibilities about the missile force. So we can cover two more things. Let me just quickly get it for the audience right here. So first is the attack by United States on the Iranian naval fleet. Okay, so this is what has been covered on X. One of the analysts, Damien Simon, he has covered this, where he's talking about the frigates on fire. Many of the problems that they were likely to cause, they have went ahead and destroyed or put it on fire. So the threat about the Gulf or the Strait of Hormuz, which was being possibly barricaded or blockaded by the Iranian Navy, is becoming less of a threat compared to before. So they may not have the capability, naval capability, but they still have the rocket capability.
No, but one, we should understand their missile and their drone forces are too strong. Their navy was always weak. They had 8 to 10 naval, battleships. Those have been attacked. 1 or 2 have been attacked. Their navy will not come out of the Strait of Hormuz and come to Gulf of Oman and attack the US aircraft carrier. But they had already planned their underground tunnels. So if you see the Strait of Hormuz, it is like a bend. So they have closed the bend. That they have done because uske underground tunnels and under the sea, they've already established that. Yes, their navy is not fighting the US naval forces because they had less, very few, and those have been destroyed. So both, but their missile and their drone forces are active.
Correct. And then the other one is what is the range of these missiles that they're talking about? And I think this is other than the Fateh 2 hypersonic missile, but this is what we are talking about. That which are the range of countries which are in the ballistic missile, whatever area that they are covering, right? So these are the ones which are in target. So in the center we can see Iran, and as per the color coding, we can see the different missiles which are there. This
Last two, Shahab
Yes.
3 and Somor, are the biggest, or Shajil, 2,500 kilometers. They cover Europe
Yes.
and Northern Africa. So, but they still will not reach US. They may
Yes.
cover attack Israel. Israel to kar hi rahe hain. Their Shahab 2 and Zulfikar, they are attacking Israel, right? But they will not cross the Europe as a continent. But Israel and all the air bases, they have suffered losses. US air bases have
Mm,
suffered losses, and it is also said that their body bags are not just three what Trump announced. There are more. There
mm,
are more casualties in tens, if
mm.
not hundreds, 80, 70. Some are saying 200. So those will come into picture. But this is a very strong force which Israel has.
Absolutely, sir. And the main thing that people are forgetting is because Iran is so difficult to invade from a traditional military perspective, this
Yes,
war
long
can
force.
extend and go on for a really long time. And may not be as straightforward as people have initially thought that it will last.
Yes,
Like even
yes.
when Ukraine Russia started, people thought it would be over in a few days, but now
No.
it's been for there for so long. Who knows what the intensity of this particular conflict will last for, even in the backdrop of all of these activities.
I feel had Iran not retaliated the way it has, all out, and done all the extreme things, it has attacked every other country in its neighborhood. I think this will create a counter retaliation which will be very strong. And if US had attacked Iran, then generally in the UN and the world opinion is okay, you have done it. But the retaliation has been so strong and so much of casualties. I think even the world, organizations will be quiet and let US and NATO forces do what it has, because Iran has not been good to anybody, even including us. Even our operations in Duz and other places, other incidents, even they have always raised against. Khamenei has always given the second view as the Muslim Ummah, Muslims of India are going through a bad time, and we should take care of Kashmiris and Muslims in Kashmir. So he's never been for even in the Gwadar this port. Okay, not Gwadar, Chabahar port. He has never been totally supportive. So as far as Iran is concerned, they have never supported us, though we have traditional ties, cultural ties. But that is with the Persian, as a culture, where Zoroastrians, not with the Islamic regime.
And just for the audience, this is how the barrage looks like. This is from open source. I've retrieved this particular video that we'll be able to see like quickly. So for
Whoa, did you see that? That was fast. That looked.
Ah, look how you run. It's not right. Listen to that sound. Shaking it. Another one.
Yeah, so these are the claimed like ballistic missile barrage, which has possibly even the Fateh hypersonic variants, which are
Okay,
streaking
these
over
are in
Israel. So
Israel. The attack is
yes,
in Israel, right? Yeah.
yes. That's why you hear the person talking English over there
Yeah.
compared to
And even the Iron Dome of Israel could not stop all the missiles. So if you
yes,
see, we should be thankful to our armed forces and our planners. None of the, even these Iran and Turkey had supplied the drones to Pakistan also. None of their air vehicles, combat vehicles, could enter our airspace. Even if they entered, they were dropped down. None could
yeah.
attack to the target, reach the target. So we should be happy that, blessed that we are in India, where no other forces can, armed forces is so strong and our air defense is so strong that they could not enter. If you see again, the Chinese air defense is failed in Iran. The Chinese air defense, which was there for Iran, has again failed. So time and again, our indigenous and our Russian-made collaborated weapons are doing well, and our air defense weapons are doing well. And no, in Sindoor, where Turkey, Iran, and such countries, China, were supporting Pakistan, they could never enter our airspace and create any mentioned target which you could mention that it was attacked. Everything was taken care in the air. which Israel and US also are not. US planes are being attacked. You can just understand the Patriot system and their air defense system, how they're working. So Fatah 2 is again a missile system which is being tested in this operation. And let's see. So a war is on, and how things will go, it depends. But things don't look good to end early, and it will not be easy for because US has ground forces in Iraq, Syria, the Delta forces. So they can. It's not easy to invade Iran and capture physically. So how it will happen? So they are thinking, let's annihilate maximum, then enter. So let's see. So it's not going to end very soon. Iran will not give up because it has to show to those 50-60% of people who were this supporters of the regime that we have given a befitting reply, and they will not surrender. So this will go on for long. And secondly, whether U.S. forces, ground forces, and Israeli defense forces, ground forces can invade Iran, this is again a questionable point. So let's see how things, but it will take a long time. It will not take a short few days war. It will
Yeah,
stretch.
exactly, sir. With the level of escalation which has happened, I doubt it will be a short-lived conflict. It might spill over
Yeah,
for
for
a little
long.
bit of long time.
Further to end this update, let me also update that other than this, the Afghan and Pakistan war is also going on. This Skirmish, if you say war. They have attacked two air bases, Noor Khan Air Base and another Mohammed Air Base in Pakistan, which we did in Op Sindoor. Afghanistan Taliban has attacked the Noor Khan Air Base, which is the epicenter of their nuclear arsenal and their ground forces, which we also hit. So that is also on. So Pakistan is also having a tough time in its western borders, and Taliban is teaching them a lesson because Pakistan has attacked Taliban, and now Taliban is retaliating. So this is also going on. Had this Iran war not come in, this would have been a big, and maybe US would have helped Pakistan in some way, but US is already involved. So Taliban is having a free flow. So there were some hints that we should start Operation Sindoor 2 so that we can take over POK and Gilgit Pakistan. Just an update on that.
Definitely, sir. And while our Afghan, brothers and
Thank you.
sisters over there, they are having their fun time. So, we can quickly end the update and perhaps come back soon and
Yeah,
more
with
further.
new developments, we'll maybe give our audience more updates on which I think. But things look quite hot in the
Yes, sir.
Middle East and the Western Asia.
Okay, sir. So, Jai Hind,
Okay,
Jai Bharat.
bye. Take care.